Hello students. This is going to be a video reminder of the assignment that you're going to do, which is going to be the annotated bibliography. Okay, I'm going to talk about this in class, and there are going to be several prongs to this assignment. Alright, so I want you first to review the assignment. It's under document sharing, okay, in the shell, and it gives you extensive information on how to do an annotated bibliography. Okay. What is an annotated bibliography? Okay. First of all, it's a reference list. Okay, so you're going to do an APA style. You're going to look on the Purdue OWL on how to do APA style, and there are also some quizzes I've left online for you to do, and that will be part of your blended day. Or it'll basically be due for Monday the 11th. Okay. Monday, May 11th. So next month I'll have to go back and I might have to redo this. But so you need to review APA style, and you need to make a reference list. All right. Then with every reference that you look up, you're going to make an annotation. An annotation is where you tell me what the article is about and whether or not it's going to be useful for you. Okay, so I want you to look up relevant articles. I want you to look them up on the library site or on Google Scholar first, and then if you can't find anything for some reason, and you'll have to play around with your searches and try and get your search terms down to something really good so that you find useful information. Okay, but then if you can't find it, then you can go to Bing or Yahoo or Google or whatever. Okay, but at least 8 of your sources need to have names, need to have authors. Okay, sites with articles with authors tend to be more authoritative, tend to be more trustworthy, because there's somebody that's accountable, right? It's somebody that said, I wrote this, I'm going to be accountable for what's contained in it. Okay, and most of the time that makes people a little more honest. If you find it through the library website, it will be something that that will be scholarly, okay? And so these are from people who want to be seen as experts in their fields. So they're gonna stand by the research that they have, okay? Now there is a time and a place to use other kind of sources, blogs, polls. You can poll people on Facebook or things like that. You can do some work like that as well. But you need to have at least 8 sources that have authors. You can only use Wikipedia as one source, okay? And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it will be just to look something up and maybe find other sources, okay? You need to review APA style, and what you're going to do is every reference that you have, first of all, they should be alphabetized, okay? By author's last name, the last name of the first author that appears in the article. And if there is no author, which you should only have twice, then you go by the title of what you have looked up, or the title of the blog, or title of the journal, something like that. Okay. So they should be alphabetized, and you will make a hanging indent. You do that by going into Word, and the easiest way is to go under, I'm trying to think what it's called, but it's the kind of paragraph. So it's the icon that has the little squiggly lines going across, okay, horizontally. So click on that. You go to Other, and then you select Hanging Indent, okay? And I'll show you how to do that. You should have a hanging indent, which means that the first line is flush left, and then every subsequent line is indented by 5 spaces. So that will be your reference, okay? Then you'll go down a space, you'll skip a space, and you will have your annotation. And that will all be indented. So it will all line up except for the very first line, which will be flush left. And that way we can see at a glance very easily where your annotation stops, okay? So what your annotation should contain should be something about the article, okay? What it's about, 1 or 2 sentences, what it's about, what the nature of the article is, maybe 3, And then you're going to tell me in 1 or 2 sentences how relevant this is going to be to your research. All right? So if it's not going to be that helpful, you know, maybe you thought it was, you thought it was going to be great, and you looked at it and not so much, right? It's not all that helpful really at all. So then what you should do is tell me that. But then you can also use that article to get to other articles, right? So maybe they have a reference in their reference list that looks really good and looks like exactly what you're looking for. And then you go to that reference, and then that one's really going to work out for you. So then you can, you know, that one will also go on your annotated bibliography. Okay. So 10 references, 8 of them need to have authors, and I don't want, like I said, I don't want to see a bunch of Wikipedias, WebMD, Business.com, things like that, okay? Those are very general websites, and if you use very general websites, your paper is going to be very generic, like theirs, okay? So why do we do an annotated bibliography? An annotated bibliography is, first of all, it's one way for me to know that you've been doing the research, okay? And really been doing it, not just doing a Google search and putting down these places, but that you've actually read them and you've looked at them and you know which ones are going to be helpful to you and which ones aren't, and where you're going to need to do some more research, okay? I do it for every Comp 2 class, at Scott, at the University of Minnesota, at Brown Mackey, etc. Okay, so every Comp 2 class I teach has to do an annotated bibliography. The other thing is, once you've done it, you're halfway done. Okay, once you've done the annotated bibliography and you've looked through it and you've told me what's in the article, you're halfway done with your research paper. Okay, all you have to do is, you know, pull out some more information from that article, from those articles, and put it together with your storytelling, which you will have done already. All right, you'll have your storytelling back this week. And then you'll put it together with the manifesto, which is kind of your opinion on what's going on with the situation, and you're virtually done. Okay? So you don't have to read the whole thing for your annotated bibliography. I would want you to read significant parts of the article, okay, once you're doing your research. But for the annotated bib, you don't have to read the whole thing, okay? All you have to do, these are some reading strategies, okay? Look at the title, obviously. Read the first paragraph, okay? Why is the first paragraph? What's contained at the end of your first paragraph? It should be a detailed thesis sentence that's going to tell the reader exactly what the author is writing about. So if he's done a good thesis sentence, he or she has done a good thesis sentence, then you're going to know if that's going to be useful to you or not. All right? Then go and read the conclusion. Why do you read the conclusion? Because the conclusion should contain a summary, wrap-up of everything that they have talked about in the paper. So the introduction and conclusion will help you figure out very quickly, okay, whether or not this article is going to be helpful to you. If you read those and they look like it's going to be good, so then you go through and look and see if there are headings. All right, read the headings. And maybe every single heading won't be useful to you, but maybe 2 or 3 headings will. They really have some information that you're going to need. So you do that. Then finally, there's the exercise that we're going to do in class called spontaneous research. And what you do with that, after you've read through, you know, you've looked at the headings and all of that, pick out a random paragraph in the middle of the paper, okay, and just respond to it. Write your opinion about what has happened, what the author is talking about, okay? Don't just summarize. I'm not interested in summaries, okay? I'm interested in your opinion about it, what you think about it, what this paragraph or 2 has led you to think about, okay? That's the reason we do research, is to inform ourselves about, you know, the situation that we're talking about, that we're going to write about. So it's not necessarily to give a summary, but to find out about it and then express your own opinion. That's in the spontaneous research, okay? So you will give a little bit, a teeny little bit of a summary with the annotated bibliography, But when you're doing spontaneous research, I want opinions. Okay? So this is the research portion of what you're going to be doing for the next week. All right? I will give you the handout. Again, the handout is available in doc sharing. It's under assignments. Okay? And it says annotated bibliography. And I will give you the handout and we'll go over it. But this is also for when you get home, because I know a lot of times students get home, they're really clear on what the assignment was when I gave it out, and they get home and look at it and they start doing it and they're lost, right? So this will kind of help you to stay on track, hopefully. All right.